What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of United Transfer Talk. And today, I know it's an odd day for a video, but I just had to bring you out a special video because there are so many news and rumours going on that I just need to keep you guys up to date. Otherwise, by the time I do it on Friday's episode, it's going to just mount up and I won't be able to tell you everything that has been happening. So today I have 5 stories, and that already is a lot compared to my usual standards, and that just shows how much transfer activities that's going on around the club right now. So let's just kick off right now, and the first story is a guy that I talked about in the last episode, and it's Moutinho. And this week has turned out that we are open negotiation with Porto for Moutinho. Like, he is a 25-year-old central midfielder, plays for Porto, like I said, Portuguese, played very well at the Euros, and you know, a lot of you guys have been saying how well he did there, and perhaps that we should be interested in bringing him in. And it was kind of like weird because he was actually got followed by Tottenham at first because, you know, of Andre Villas-Boas and their relationship at Porto, but then after the Euros we really came to the forefront of this transfer saga, if you like, and you know, looks like as though we might be in a kind of like pole position for him, because Tottenham, like, you know, Luka Modric's situation, Van der Vaart wanting to go away, so they have a lot of problem in their hands, and that has almost created an opening for us to get Moutinho. So 25 million is what it's saying. We have open negotiation with Porto, and hopefully we'll be able to wrap up this deal soon, because Moutinho, like I said, is a quality player. He showed it in Euros against the best players like Javi and Iniesta, and I was really impressed with him. Like, he's not the biggest, he's about 5'7", 5'8", but his technical ability is second to none, and yeah, he could definitely fit in a Spanish squad if he was Spanish. So that's how highly people rate him, and I think he is a quality player that, you know, would add a lot to our club, and especially, you know, with the role that post goals and that is played, how vital they were last season. We do need to inject new blood, and it's almost a shame that he is not English and we don't have any English players that is up to that standards. But you know, when we are challenging to Man City, we have to do whatever is needed in order to kind of like keep them honest and keep them on their toes. And with Moutinho, I think that would add that bit of, you know, quality and would help us to regain our title in the next season of 2. So Moutinho would be a quality player, and like I said, 25 million would likely to take him from Porto. Although Tottenham might be interested, I think we can outbid them quite easily. So Moutinho, 25 million, 25-year-old. What do you guys think of him? Leave a comment below, guys. The next player I'm going to talk about is actually a player I talked about on the very first episode of United Transfer Talk, and it's to do with Lucas Moura. And as you guys may know, Lucas Moura is a 19-year-old Brazilian player. He's a fully international player, and he was, again, is one of the highest rated talents to come out of Brazil for the last few years, you know, along with Neymar and Ganzo. So he's right up there, and although he had been subjected to a 32 million bid from Chelsea early on in the summer, I believe, they have actually rejected that bid, and for some reason now we are interested back in him, and that would surprise me because we are in a run-in with, again, like I said, Chelsea, Real Madrid, and ourselves. But 32 million would deem a lot of money, and I don't know if he's worth it. Like I said, he's only 19, but again, the Brazilian league is not the best league in the world, and it is unproven, and you're obviously going to take a risk with that. But if you do get him and he could turn out to be like Sergio Aguero, you know, you're going to have a bargain in your hands, even if it's 30 million pounds, because he is arguably that good, and you know, some pundits saying he could be even better than Neymar. So he is, you know, has a great talent, but again, it just depends on how he fulfills that potential in Europe. So Lucas Moura, it does look like we are back in for him, but 32 million plus would deem a lot of money, and I don't think they're going to let him go for less than 35. I don't think, because, you know, I think his club, they want to keep him because they know that his development are not finished yet, and they want to keep him so that they can themselves get enhanced in the league and get a better challenge for the title. So yeah, Lucas Moura, again, 19-year-old, would probably take about 35-40 million to get him. It would seem ridiculous, but you know, that's what the inflated market has become. And what do you guys think of Lucas Moura? Would you guys pay the 35 to 40 million pounds for him? I personally have a lot of doubt over this move, but you know, it's out there. And so if you guys are interested, please leave your comment below, guys. The third story I'm going to talk about is to do with a player that everyone knows, and it's Robin van Persie. And it's strange to talk about such a player within our podcast here. And you know, he's a rival player, and we all know what an exceptional season he had last season, almost carrying Arsenal at times on his back by himself. And it has turned out this week that he had declined a contract from Arsenal. And as you know, Arsenal, they have a very strict wage cap, and I really respect them for, you know, keeping their integrity into the modern game. But again, Robin van Persie might be going for money, etc. But I do believe that Robin van Persie is one of these players who actually want to win things, because you know, he's getting on now. He's 29 soon, and he wants to get the last kind of like hurrah in his career, where he's going to win loads of titles and give himself a great chance to be, you know, considered to be one of the greats in club football, and hasn't fulfilled that potential at Arsenal. And to be fair, he had 2 good seasons, and Arsenal again hasn't lived up to his standards. So Van Persie, it looks like he's going to go. He rejected a new deal. I think Arsenal were willing to give him around 130,000, so that's not a lot if you consider it compared to the other top performers within the league. You know, Yaya Toure of City is like 200,000, Rooney's around that mark as well, Rio Ferdinand's around 140, I think, right now. So Van Persie is earning under what he should be for his performance level. So he has rejected it, and obviously there are massive speculation as where he's going to go next. To us, City, Juventus, or like the main 3 that's been spoken about. And I think Arsenal, it's turned out they are kind of like not very cooperative within the negotiations. So they're gonna, I think they might, if they might take a chance and just keep him for a year and let him go for free. That's what I think Arsenal are trying to do, because they know they're not going to find anyone else as good as Van Persie within this transfer window. And if Van Persie leaves, you know, what are they going to use to attract the kind of like big name star to their club now? Because, you know, I know they have Podolski and Giroud that have signed, but they're not in the same kind of like class as Van Persie, and they're not going to score as many goals. So Van Persie, he's a great player, and I would love to see him at United, but I have my doubts again, because of the money involved in this deal. Because Juventus, they're like, you know, Serie A champions, so they obviously have a bit of money in their kitty. But City, they have their endless pit, so I would really worry about this if we do go into a deal with Van Persie. And it would probably take about 30-35 million again for Van Persie, and the wage packet will be perhaps 150,000 plus. So it would be a considerable deal for a player that is in almost the twilight of his career. And it highlights this even more compared to Sneijder, because Sneijder is 2 years younger than Van Persie. But what would you guys take for Van Persie to come to United? You know, would you guys pay for the 30-35 million pounds for Van Persie, and would he worth it? I think he would be, but again, I have my doubts about this move, just because of, like, you know, the rivalry and stuff like that. So what do you guys think of Van Persie, and do you think this deal is possible? Leave your comment below, guys. And the next story, and the fourth one I'm going to talk about, is some Atletico Bilbao players. And you know, last week Marcelo Bielsa, their coach, resigned after some altercation with, you know, some ground stuff, I don't know, but this has left the Bilbao club in turmoil almost, because Bielsa, he was a great manager. You know, you see what he did to us last year in the Europa League. He absolutely destroyed us with his tactics and, you know, the style of play he did, and we were just couldn't live with them. And you know, Bielsa was an instrumental part of that team, and when he gone, a lot of players are beginning to be unsettled. And not two I'm going to talk about today, and it's firstly I'm going to talk about Fernando Llorente. You know, he's big old striker, 6'5", has a great goal scoring record, fully Spain international, and although he didn't get a kick in Euro 2012, that shows that he has a lot of great ability to even push it into the national squad, and it just shows their strength and depth that even he can't get a kick in the ball, because if he was any other nationality, I promise you guys that he would walk into most teams out there. So that just shows the strength and depth, but take nothing away from Llorente. He's a great player, and as you can see, against us last year, scored a great goal volley first time, beating David De Gea with no problem. So he is a great striker, and like I said, there are some turmoil at the club, and it looks like he might be tempted to go away. It's not like 90% sure that he wants, but I would put it around the 75% mark. And if the right offers come in for him, maybe 30 million, then Bilbao have to really think about this situation, and would they want to keep this player? And if it's the right amount of money that they can receive, then I think they might be tempted to sell him. And I think Llorente will be a really good addition to our squad. However, I do see some problem with this deal, because he, like I said, is 27 years old. He's not going to be looking to go somewhere and sit on a bench all week, and Select has great faith in Danny Welbeck and Chicharito's, and he's not going to stunt their development for a more established players, because they have done quite well last season with Welbeck, Chicharito and Rooney, and they done really well for themselves, and getting almost 50-60 goals amongst those three. And I know Rooney got on most of it, but again, Welbeck and Chicharito done really well and done their part to the team. But Llorente would add that little extra of ability and quality to an attacking line, and he offers something different to the three of them, because he is that tall and he's going to offer us more aerial ability. But like I said, £30 million, you're not going to want him to be the new Berbatov sitting on the bench doing nothing. But I do think Llorente would be a quality player, and he would add an extra dimension to our attack. So what do you guys think of Llorente? 30 to 35 million pounds. Leave your comment below, guys. And the next player I'm going to talk about is Javi Martinez. Again, he starred in the performance against us in the Europa League last year. He played it as the central defence player in their team that day, but he can operate in midfield as comfortable as well. So Martinez is a great player, very comfortable on the ball. Again, similarly built to Llorente, big, tall, very strong, and again very comfortable within the ball. But that you should expect that with any player. Even David De Gea is comfortable with the ball, but that's their kind of like style. But Martinez would be a great player. He can operate as the anchorman and protect the back four, offer him a shield from the attacking players, and when it needs, he can fit into the back, and he can also push forward, because he does have almost an all-round game. One thing I would say, that he's not the quickest, so that could be exploited within the Premier League, but I believe that his technique and his composure on the ball would see him through that. But again, due to this situation with Bielsa, a lot of players have become unsettled, and I think he would go for around £28 million and no less, I don't think, because Bilbao knows they've got a great player on their hands, and they want the maximum available price for him. So Javi Martinez, he will be a good player, 23 years old. Like I said, he can develop himself into the Premier League, and he has time on his side as well. So Javi Martinez, 23-year-old, 20 to 30 million pounds. Would you guys take him for that money? I myself would definitely really seriously consider that for that amount, because of the situation right now, because it's not going to come around where they all want to leave in the same kind of like a gap. So I would really consider it, but like I said, 28 to 30 million pounds would be a stumbling block. So what do you guys think of Javi Martinez? Leave a comment below, guys. And finally, to our final story of the day, and it's to do with Mousa Dembele. I talked to you guys about Dembele a few episodes ago, I think, and it has emerged today that a few sources has been reporting that we have actually had a bid rejected for him, and I'm not sure what the fee is, but I'm guessing around 10 to perhaps 15 million pounds for Dembele. He's a great player, you know, 23, 24 years old, Belgian international, has really developed himself into the Premier League after suffering a bad injury. And, you know, he's a really strong player, operating in midfield, but also can offer some attacking ability, going wide as the false number 9, the number 10 role. So he's very versatile, and he would fit into our mould of, you know, one of these players that can operate in multiple positions. So that will be a great boost to our squad, that he is able to do that. And, you know, Dembele, he is a great player, and he definitely shouldn't be at Fulham, because he is a lot better than they are. No offense to Fulham, obviously, but I'm just saying he has the ability to comfortably play at our level, you know, one of the top 3, top 4 clubs. So he has that ability in him. And Dembele, he again has time on his side, so would be able to fully develop himself at a top club. And I think for 10-15 million, that would be a great bargain, in my opinion, for Dembele, because he has proven himself to be quite a good performer in the Premier League, and he, you know, could add something extra to our midfield. He's very strong, great dribbler of the ball, and he has a definitely left foot on him. So Dembele would be a great bargain for 10-15 million pounds. So 15 million pounds, would you guys take Dembele for that? And so leave your comment below on Dembele. So that just about wrap it up for this episode of United Transfer Talk, and it's now coming up to 17 minutes of this video. So I'm sorry guys for, you know, taking such a long video, but it has to be done. And next week it will be back to normal schedule. Wednesday it will be United Talk, and Friday it will be United Transfer Talks. And just to, you know, and then if there's any other transfers, I'll also do an emergency video. So there's my schedule. So if you like this video guys, please rate, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. And again, if you want to write any articles, please send it over to ManUnitedDaily@gmail.com. So that's it. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.